was able to replicate my former income in a single day. I was losing a lot of sales. I was losing a lot of deals. Like, I was just kind of living on a hope and a prayer. I was able to go from like 1.5, 2K a month to I hit 5.6K in April. And I actually had a $2,000 day. So it's like the sauce works, man.
And it's obviously only been like a month of us working together. Welcome back to the channel. I got my boy Jason here. We got a student interview. We're gonna dive straight in. Jason, at a high level, man, give me a little bit of your experience of working with me. Like, how have things been so far?
So honestly, man, working with Nick, I think the perfect way to describe it is he's the embodiment of going above and beyond for his clients. Like, he doesn't just, oh yeah, this is how you handle the objections, this is how you do a discovery. Like, this guy has been there every step of the way with me. If I needed a coach, he was there with that. Like, he goes above and beyond for every single one of his clients. That's Nick.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And give us a little high level of who you are, what you do, what you sell. Like who is Jason?
So my name is Jason. Currently, I sell on a B2C biz op right now. So I've been closing since like February. So I first invested with Nick back in February, started working with him then. And ever since I started working with Nick, I've just been able to improve leaps and bounds from his feedback and his perspectives on things.
Sweet, sweet. And so you sell BizOp. You joined the group program in February. When was it that we started working one-on-one? I think it was like a couple months after, right?
Yeah, so I think I was in the group through February, and then I think I started working with you like one-on-one in like mid-March, maybe April. So like mid-March, April is when I actually started working with you more one-on-one.
Yeah, around there. And can you give us a high level of where you were at around that, March, April mark before we started working together more closely?
So before I started working with Nick, I was doing like 2, maybe 3K a month at most closer commissions. Like, it was rough. I was losing a lot of sales. I was losing a lot of deals. Like, I was just kind of living on a hope and a prayer.
Damn, hope and a prayer. But obviously before working with us, a couple things. One is, where were you in terms of revenue or cash collected, commissions? Where were you there?
Oh, dude, I was getting like maybe like 10 to 15K a month cash collected as a closer. Like, it was rough, bro. It wasn't the easiest.
Damn, 10 to 15K, and you were bringing home like a grand, 1,500?
Yeah, like 1,500, 2K, 2.5, like that. That was pretty much it. It was rough.
Yeah, and it's obviously only been like a month of us working together, a month and a half of us working one-on-one. Where are you at now?
So since I started working with Nick, I was able to go from like 1.5, 2K a month to I hit 5.6K in April. And I actually had a $2,000 day. So I made as much commissions in a single day as I did like the whole month prior. So it's like, it's pretty obvious by the results. Like, I was quite literally able to more than double the income that I earned, and I was able to replicate my former income in a single day. So it's like the sauce works, man.
Damn, don't let that go over your head. 1,500 a month to 2K a day to now 6 grand a month. Like, we're obviously still getting started, right? We're still in the beginning, but to 3x your income in a month and a half, like, that's pretty crazy. Take us back to that time, the time that you were making 1,500, 2 grand a month. Like, what challenges were you having? What were your main frustrations?
Dude, I just felt like I was spinning my wheels, and so I was the only one on the offer. I was doing all of my own setting, all of my own closing, and the only like insight and perspective I had was from my offer owner. And like, what works for him in sales doesn't necessarily work for me. So he's like, oh, you just need to get better at your tonality. Oh, you just need to get better at this. Oh, you just need to say this exactly like this. And it's like, I was doing it, and that shit wasn't working for Jason. Like, before I started going with Nick, it was like I was being forced to sell in a very unnatural way to me. And I felt like it might have worked for my offer owner, but it was creating a lot more resistance for me. And so it's like, Jason can't sell like this, but I'm being forced to sell like this, and I don't have any other input or help or perspective to get better. So it was just kind of like a reaffirming loop keeping me stuck.
Right. You were almost kind of being forced to be him, right? And what about that way of selling? What about that process was unnatural to you?
Just, it's like, I think the easiest way to compare it is the way that you talk about your closing. It's a very subconscious close, like the whole entire way. Like, you're looking for the no, you're making the prospect sell themselves to you. And like, by the time you get to the end of the call, like, the only logical solution that's there for them from their own words and the things that they've admitted to and given you permission to hold them accountable to is to move forward with the sale. Whereas like what I was being told to do, it was very like assuming the sale and like pressure and like pushing for it and like it just, I don't know, like it works for some people. Some people got the type of personality where they can just kind of frame somebody and get them to move how they want to move. But
Right.
like for me, that doesn't work. I'm definitely a lot more inquisitive, like really trying to figure out and like diagnose and understand their thought process. And that's exactly how your styles of sale works. So I think that's why I've been a lot more successful applying what you teach versus the feedback that I was getting that was keeping me stuck in the same place.
Yeah, just like a lot of old school shit, right? Of assume that they're gonna buy, not asking many questions. So I've seen that in you too. Like I've seen just the energy and how you're showing up on the calls is totally different as a result of that. So that's really good. And you kind of scratched at it there, right? But I'm curious, like if we get more specific for the viewers, right? What do you feel like is the key things that you changed right now about how you're approaching your calls and like the questions you're asking, what you're looking for versus before? Like, what do you think is the key difference that's led to you 3xing your income?
The key difference, and this is something that Nick teaches a lot in his program, is like ethically gaslighting. And so, like, being able to really uncover, okay, so like selling B2C biz up, let's say they've looked into drop shipping in the past, but they didn't start drop shipping because of the money that's involved. So, like, through really being able to, like, ask questions and understand why they didn't move forward with something in the past, it's going to tell you what they're likely to object to when you try to close them. So it's like if we can address their limiting belief around like whether it be their time, their money, whatever it may be, if we can address that limiting belief and get their buy-in that hey, this is a way of thinking that is one, kept me stuck. Two, this is a way of thinking that I am now ready to change. And three, they give us permission to hold them accountable to the change that they want to make. If you have that much leverage built up in the discovery before price is ever dropped, when I drop an $8,000 price tag on them on the back end, if they try to give me some bullshit about money, they literally gave me permission to hold them accountable to changing that viewpoint and that perspective. So
Right.
it's like it's such the subconscious close, like ethically gaslighting. Like we
Yes.
are helping these prospects to make the decision that one they want to make and two they need to make for their situation. But their limiting beliefs, especially selling B2C biz op, like the limiting beliefs of these prospects has kept them in the same place. That's why they hop from call to call to call, speaking to person to person to person, getting information and information and information, but they're stuck in the same place. If they're a bucket two, they're still bound by their golden handcuffs and they're just comfortable there. If they're a bucket one, they're still stuck working their dead end job that they hate. And it's because of their limiting beliefs. But like the subconscious close, the ethical gaslighting gives us the leverage that we need to through discovery to push them towards their goals. And
And
it's
that's
in a
totally right, bro. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to add to that point though, right? Because that's totally right. And that was the key thing for me when I was selling what you're selling right now is I would feel like I'm having these great discoveries, right? I'd feel like everything is landing, but for some reason they're not moving forward. And when you look back, they give you their objection, right? I
yeah.
didn't have time. Ethically gaslighting. I didn't have the money. I thought it was a scam, like whatever it is. And that was the thing that really changed the game for me, that got me from like 5, 10 grand a month to 20. So I'm glad that's the thing that you've seen work well with you. And how do people like react to you with this new way of selling? Like I'm curious about that too.
So that's what I was actually about to piggyback into. It's like selling like this, I get people that are thanking me for taking four to fucking $8,000 out of their bank account. Like if I split pay them, it's like 4K. If they're piffing, it's like 8K. And at the end of the call, they're thanking me. Like like a lot of other sales styles, like you can hard close somebody, you can anchor so much on their emotions and make them feel like shit if they don't move forward, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily thanking you. It's like
Yeah.
when you're truly able to identify the limiting beliefs that have kept somebody stuck in the same place and you truly get their like buy-in and permission to help them overcome that as a person, by the time they're giving you their credit card or you're taking them through financing, like they're thanking you. They're grateful for their opportunity. They're thankful that somebody was there to challenge them and push them out of this way of thinking that has kept them in the same spot. So it's like I've
Right.
had so many people at the end of calls like thanking me for challenging them, not putting up with their BS and like helping
Yes.
them to make the choice that they ultimately need to make. Like selling, this is something you say all the time. Like selling isn't something we do to somebody, it's something like we do for them or something along those lines. But it's like,
That's
we're
right.
not doing this to them to extract money out of them. It's like, hey, I'm giving you access to an opportunity that I know is going to change your life. But in order for you to step into, this is also something else you touch on, like who joins the call isn't who joins the program.
Yep.
Like they need to step into that 2.0 version of themselves. They need to step into that person that they want to be, and they need somebody there that's going to hold them accountable to making decisions like that. And the
That's
way
right.
that you've built your sales process, it's just like it's a subconscious close. Like everything that they're
Right.
complying to is in their best interest, and it's giving you all the leverage that you need in the world to actually close them on the back end.
Yeah, it's identity selling, right? And that's why it's ethical gaslighting because like we're selling shit that people actually need. We're selling shit
Yeah,
that is actually helping them because otherwise like these are skills that you can take and go ruin people's lives, right?
yeah.
Which your moral compass is really important there. What made you actually pull the trigger and work with a total stranger from the internet? Like what gave you the courage? Where did that come from?
So when I first broke into the high ticket sales scene, like everyone told me like Twitter's kind of the place to be for high ticket sales and reps and everything like that. And of course, you were really big on posting like game footage, like objection handling, all of that on your Twitter profile. So it's like I got on my offer back in September. So I was following your Twitter account, watching your videos, all of that since like September of last year. And so when I actually hopped into a closing role, it was an absolute no-brainer to go forward in coaching with you. Because it's like I would hit you up with messages in the DMs, like asking for your philosophy on sales. And then one day you were like, I think it would just be better if we ended up doing coaching together. And I'm like, I can
Thank you.
respect that. Like, I'm not going to
Right.
ask you questions until I've paid you money. Like, okay. And so from there forward, it was like, it was an absolute no-brainer to go forward with coaching with Nick because from the outside looking in, it made so much sense. But from the outside looking in, it's hard to really understand the nuances and okay, well, why does this work? I understand, but like, why does this work? How do I actually implement this myself? So when I was
Mm,
actually in a position to where, okay, now I'm closing on my offer, what I'm being taught is not working. Okay, I need to look elsewhere. And it was like, I already know who to go to. When it comes to B2C sales, like, there's nobody better to go with than Nick. And it's like, I'd already been warmed up since September. So it was like, okay, let's go ahead with it.
appreciate the words, bro. Appreciate that for sure. For real, I mean. And yeah, it's that's the difference between the free stuff and actually working with someone because you can watch the clips, you can watch the videos, but there's such small nuances that I've showed you even with the body language, with the way I'll drag out my words that if you're listening, it just sounds like a natural conversation, but it's all very strategic. It's all
Yeah.
very calculated, which you're starting to pick up on now. And like we're only scratching the surface, so I'm excited to keep going with you. Did you have any kind of misconceptions before doing coaching? I know this is the first time you've like worked one on one with someone. What misconceptions did you have, if any?
I didn't really have any misconceptions. Like I come from a church background, so I believe in like discipleship and coaching slash mentorship is, they're pretty similar at their basics. So it's like I understand the value of having a coach, having a mentor, having somebody that knows more than me to help me get where I want to be. So it's
Yeah.
like I already understood the value of coaching, but as I'm sure a lot of other high ticket sales reps are aware of, a lot of sales trainers, oh, I got $700,000 cash collected as a closer selling to organic laydowns. I'm going to become a sales coach.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot, and I've heard from a lot of other reps in the scene, like people that I connect with on Twitter, like, they've gone through 2, 3, 4 different sales coaches, and it's like,
Sheesh.
they're just burning money on sales coaches that are just regurgitating the same stuff or like their way of selling doesn't actually fit the person. So it's like for me it was just more so I got nurtured for months ahead of time and it's like I already knew without a shadow of a doubt in my mind the coach that I'm going to work with. So when it came time to pull the trigger, it was like I know this is going to be the best investment that I can make into my career because I already know the fruit is there. So it's like
Easy.
it was pretty straightforward for me, but I know a lot of other high ticket sales reps get burned. I know they invest into coaching or mentorship, or there's so many stinking training and placement programs out there for people to break into with high ticket. And it's like a lot of it really doesn't deliver. Like nobody cares that, oh, I'm closer certified by so and so. What they
Yeah,
care
right.
about is your results. What they care about is like, do you actually know how to close? Like, do you actually know what you're doing? Do you have results and stuff to show for it? And it's like working with Nick has given me that. It's given me the results. It's given me like, yeah, man, I can show you my call recordings. I'm a dog on calls now. But it's like
And
I
that's
have that
key.
confidence because I have somebody in my corner that has helped me to grow into that.
That's key, and I agree, right? You can be certified by this person, and it could be well-known names, but I need to see how you perform in the game. And
Yeah.
now you could go sell whatever you want now, right? Like
Yeah.
within reason, like you could get on whatever offer you want. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months, income-wise? Continuing this trajectory.
So, I mean, continuing with this trajectory, I see myself, breaking over the 10 to 15K a month range. It's like, 6.5K last month, and like that's working 6 days a week on an offer that's, not necessarily super dialed in, like working myself like a slave, doing all of my own setting and closing. So it's like, I know if I take the skill set and what I've learned here and I apply it into a better vehicle, there's no reason I'm not going to be hitting 10 to 15K months consistently because it's like the skill set's there. It's just a matter of getting in the right vehicle. And that's something for every high ticket sales rep. Like currently, I feel like I'm biking uphill with two flat tires. But if
Yeah.
you put me on flat ground with two aired up tires with the skill set that I've been equipped with through working with Nick, there's no reason I don't smash 10 to 15K a month.
Hell yeah, and we're in the process of getting you there too. So we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna get you a good offer. Any last thoughts? Let me ask you this: like anyone who's on the fence about potentially working with me, maybe they've been looking at my content, they've been on the fence. Like, what would you tell them?
I think ultimately, one of the big things that you're going to learn working with Nick is you got to unlearn to relearn. So it's like his philosophy on sales it's so different than what so many high ticket sales programs, coaches, and really just training in general pushes out there. So it's like, come in ready to unlearn in order to relearn. But if you truly have that posture in your heart where you're open to relearning from somebody that has closed millions, they know what they're doing, this isn't their first rodeo. If you're actually open to relearning and receiving from him, it'll completely transform the way that you sell. And it doesn't like, this is where I talked about, earlier in our call, like you're the definition of you go above and beyond for your clients. It's not just like, all right, here's your call review, get better at objection handling, get better at discovery. It's like, man, if I've needed somebody to give me life coaching, like perspective on the next steps that I need to make in life, it's like you've gone above and beyond. If I needed somebody to be in my corner and like encourage me when I'm in my own head or like give me different perspective on things that I can't see, it's like you've been there the whole entire time. And so I say this all the time, man, like the greatest investment that I've had in high ticket sales has been investing into coaching with Nick. Like I wouldn't be nearly the person that I am today, and I wouldn't have the foundation that I have today. Like I am confident that I can take this understanding that I've been taught and I can apply it into a billion different niches, and I know that it's going to work because it's the subconscious of the way that humans make decisions. And you can sell people and have them be grateful after. So it's like if you're on the fence of working with Nick, man, the fruit's in the pudding. Like it's all over. Like you can look on his profile, you can see the 20-minute objection handling that he does. But the reality is like the way that he has built out his sales process is so effective. And I think any single like customer that you speak to that has worked with Nick will say the same exact thing. Like it is the single highest ROI that I've ever had investing into myself as a high ticket sales rep.
Oh yeah, appreciate it again, bro. Thank you so much. And something I want to touch on because you talked about relearning is abundance. Like, how has releasing money, how has that helped you make more money?
So yeah, it's such a crazy thing because like, especially like when I first started working with Nick, dude, making 1.5, 2K a month, it's like I didn't have an abundance of money. But it's like one of the big things I learned from Nick is like, bro, just let the cash flow. Like one thing I learned like way back in my sales career is like sales is a transfer of energy. And so it's like the same thing with cash flow. It's like if I'm stinking holding on to my money and I'm not willing to live in abundance and let any of it go, like how the hell can I expect my prospects to have an open hand with their finances and I'm asking them for $8,000? So it's like just letting that cash flow out of myself and knowing like, shit, okay, I hit a rut right now. All right, I'm just going to go tip this person extra. Or I'm going to go enjoy drinks here. Like, I'm just going to enjoy myself. I'm going to let some cash flow And I know as I do that, it's gonna come back to me. I can go spend $100 on drinks, and I get one close, and I make $1,000 in commissions.
Yep.
So it's like it's just that release of money and like not allowing it to be a god in your life, and it means so much to me. Releasing that money and really just living in abundance, because it even allows you to be on sales calls disconnected, like not having the commission breath and like, oh my god, I need to close this guy. It's like, honestly, man, I don't give a fuck if you buy. You can buy or you can't buy. I know our product is going to change your life. If you don't buy, you're a so
It
it
shows in
allows you
your
to be
energy.
detached.
It shows in your energy, right, and how you show up. And I think that's been a very key thing for you. Well, I'm proud of you, man. We're going to continue growing. We're going to get you to 10 to 15K a month very soon. Any final thoughts for the viewers before we wrap up here?
I've said it a couple times in the interview, but it's going to be the
Yeah.
single highest ROI you've ever done into your career. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's not just a sales coach. Like, this guy is truly helping me in my just career in high ticket sales, like, navigate. He's opened up his network and everything to me. Like, he's put his name out there for me. So it's like, Nick truly cares about his clients. Like, he doesn't just view you as, okay, I'm gonna talk to this guy once a week on a coaching call. If he does good, cool. I get a good case study. If he doesn't do good, all right, fuck it, I already got his money. Like, that's not Nick's heart. Like, he truly wants to see the people that work with him succeed. So it's like in more ways than just sales training. Like, this guy has opened himself up and made himself available to me to grow into the person that I'm becoming. So I'm extremely grateful. I know if anybody else starts working with you, they're going to feel exactly the way that I feel. Taken care of and actually valued as a client and not just another number and a person on your calendar.
Hell yeah. And you're right. And I appreciate it again. Thank you a million times. Thank you for trusting me. So, everyone who made it this far, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you for listening. As always, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.